morning or good afternoon. I'm listening to Encoded Frequencies with Katie is the name of it from YouTube. And she's in I think 528 hertz frequency, which is angelic sound frequency, and the frequency is for dissolving all pain and suffering. And she channels and does light language. She also makes her own music with her own keyboards and all that. So I just kind of had it playing in the background for higher frequencies. This morning I haven't been doing card readings for a while, and I decided to do some cards for myself and see what was going on for the new year, and keeping in my mind if it's something just general, and for the collective as well, what's coming. And it doesn't really say what's coming specifically. Spit that out. But it was a nice reading. And I thought, that was a nice general little reading, so I thought I'd share it. Also, from my Yogi Tea tab here, from Yogi, I usually put them up on my Facebook. It says, "This life is a gift." So that's a nice way to start the day. I was feeling kind of down for a little bit, the past day or two, and I started wondering, well, is it me? Am I feeling the collective? Am I feeling the family, somebody in the family? And it can be somebody in the family, but it can also be feeling the collective, because we're ending on this, 2nd of January in 2026. Yay, we made it through another year. And but it's also things that, we're trying to leave behind, that we're so used to, been used to for years. It can also be changing the way you're thinking about something that maybe you've been working on, that maybe it's not the thing you were working on, but the way your perception or perspective and what it is you're working on. But leaving behind the things that were for helping you move forward, or maybe in the way you were thinking of it, or trying something new, or where you live, all the same things that we hear all the time. And but if you're feeling a little low, remind yourself that it's just a type of fear, sadness, or you may be feeling others, and it's a time of year where there may be uncertainty in what's going to happen in the new year ahead. We've had a pretty busy year this past year, and especially emotionally. So, but a lot of people are learning through this. I know there's been a lot of people that were having a hard time coming up out of it. So, it isn't a bad thing to, even though you're using, if you're trying to do energy work and all that, we're not, our bodies have to become accustomed to it, and it's like rebooting your system and letting go of that old stuff that we're thinking about, that we thought about for our whole lifetime, even, lifetimes. So we're rebooting our body. It might not just happen always overnight. For some it does. It's a belief system and how much it's within you or around you, you know, of that belief. Or if it's even somebody else's. So, where was I going? Okay, so remembering that, you know, put little notes here and there, like when you start feeling down. Or it's a frequency. It's your frequency. It's you can change it. And sometimes you might not want to change it at that moment. You might want to feel it out. Or if you're trying to figure if it's somebody else's stuff or if it's your stuff, you know. It can even be an animal or animals, you know, if you have animals. So, excuse me. But just remember, like, when you're feeling that lowness, you know, that you can change it. And put a note, like I started to say, put notes up, you know, like to remind yourself this is a frequency, this is energy that's making me feel this way, whether it's within or without. And, you know, find that way that helps you to shift it. Myself, I use different, there's particular videos I'll use that have like tones, and or it can either, you know, be the grounding thing, which can really help, or just get out of that area where you're at, or open a window, which I want to do here again. Open your window and let fresh air in, and get out of that space you may be spending a lot of time in. You know, find those different ways, like open up your mind a little bit and be imaginative and what it is that makes you feel better. It's just even getting out of the space that you're in, that you're feeling like that, or changing it, changing the space you're in, and it'll shift that energy. So, as I started to say, I use like the frequency tones and music. Usually it's without. I prefer well, I like them both ways, with nice words and all. And then there's other ones that I just like listening to when I'm writing or painting, or just hanging out outside under my tree where it's just music tones. And it shifts the energy, my frequencies, into a higher frequencies. Plus, if you're outside under the tree and outside in the sun is also, they always talk about grounding in the trees and nature and all that, but the sun has a lot to do with us too. So in that light, bringing in that light, just don't overdo it, you know. But that makes a difference too when you have the sunlight on us. So just, you know, if you need to, if you're one that goes in and out of that a lot, that kind of depression kind of feeling, or sadness or whatever, and like I said, whether it's yours or somebody else's, you know, write a note on you, put it on your mirror, or you know, put it next to your bed or your computer, TV, whatever you hang out a lot, you know, and just say, if I'm feeling low, it's just the frequency. You know, and remind yourself, oh yeah, because we can easily forget that at times, you know, if you're not somebody that's used to doing that, changing your moods in that way, you know, using energy and frequencies and all. And you don't have to keep it with you. So, a lot of times it can be something trying to tell you something also, or somebody else's thing. So just, you know, try to figure out what can be doing it too. It can make a difference, so you can change what's going on around you if you're able to, you know, change or remove, or, you know, do something different to make that change in your frequency, in your space. So, there was something else with that I wanted to say. What was it? Oh, okay. When you're feeling that way too, especially if you're somebody that's not used to, you know, you're still learning how to reboot your energy, and it can affect those chakras, like feeling the low frequencies and all can affect our chakras, and we got to clear the chakras out, and the energy and meditation or however. Movement, dancing, swimming, singing, like using those chakra areas physically. But if it's still like kind of hanging on somehow, and you, like I've read a lot of people, or there have been some people in the past month or so that I've read that they're having a hard time coming out of it, and how they've given up medications and all, or antidepressants, or these different medications. It doesn't mean you can't readjust your medications, or like go to the doctor and tell your doctor, well, I've been really down lately, for whatever reason. I'm a bit depressed and I don't have energy, and and they may like kind of adjust a medication to help you lift that energy a little bit and that depression a little bit. And this way you can get on track where you're not so much in that low way of thinking all the time, that you can bring yourself up out of that and start working on what it is you were feeling, like being in a better frame of mind, and lifting that frequency by having that for a little while, using that medication for a little while to bring you up and motivate you again. Enough to give you some energy and make you feel a little bit better. This way you can start working on and remember what you were feeling, so you know where to work on. And usually, a lot of times it has to do, like I said, with others, or it can be something of past stuff, that may be making you feel that way. A lot of with our lower chakras and our lower area in our body, that is our area of connecting with the earth, right? And the upper half connects to source. Well, that lower half, that's our self-confidence, that's our creativity and our emotions, and which our emotions can also go to throat and heart too. But as far as clearing like those lower chakras and those lower areas of our body are for the 3D world. It connects to the 3D world, and it's a lot of emotional stuff. So if you're feeling things in your lower back, digestive things, or even like bladder or constipation, or foods being different, like if you're eating foods you've always eaten and they're not working for you anymore. This is all like your body's changing, and with the energy changing, so are we in our DNA, and within. We're all connected to earth and energy here. So if you're having those lower problems and feeling secure and trusting yourself, or feeling like you're not trusting yourself, or you're feeling insecure, or feeling worried and fearful and uncreative and uninspired, like any of those type of emotional things, that has to do a lot with not only our thinking, the way of thinking, but with that lower part of our chakras. So those lower part of our chakras, when we clear it, learn to clear them and change them, whether it's through movement, dancing, or walking, or whatever, swimming, whatever, and also changing the way we speak about ourselves is a big thing too, what you speak out there too. So it can help when we change that. It also affects, like when we're off balance down there, it affects our physical body, if the energy is off. So when you start realizing that your energy is off in that lower area of your body, you can start working on it. You can start changing it. and know that it's, it starts out with that energy thing. So if you do get yourself where you are, like, asking the doctor for a little bit of help, it's okay to go to a doctor. Like, I don't know if it's right for everybody to give up totally all their medications at one time, or, at once. It's up to the person themselves and for them to figure that out for themselves. But if you are getting these feelings and having these, like, things changing with your body, or not, I want to put that in there. Not everybody is having a problem with this, so. But a lot of people have, because the body's changing energetically too, and the way we think and all. There's a lot of, so much going on, so many different things being discovered, and different ways of thinking of things, and different, like when you go online, you see all these different things you can pick from. And it's all connected with each other because we're all connected. But it may not everything may be right for you at that time, or through who made it, or respectfully I say, can be an off energy, And if it's something you want to learn, it doesn't feel right, try it through somebody else. It's like connecting. Everybody's all different in their frequencies right now. And that's not, I'm not saying that's bad. It's just trying to find the ones that we connect with. And so anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here a little bit. When you're having trouble with your body, as far as maybe something, like I was mentioning before, or not. Check the chakras. Cha-cha-cha-cha. Sounds like Jimmy Durante. So check the chakras. Look them up. See what chakra in the area that you're feeling these things. Look up the chakra and what chakras are in that area of your body. And then you can look up, like, the emotional. Each chakra has its own, like, subject area in your body that it helps to control, or that it takes care of. So when you find that area that if it's your lower back, let's say, that can be your sacral, your second or third chakra too, your solar or your sacral chakra. Or your intimacy with people. You don't trust or have that intimacy that you don't want to share with others. And that can be your sacral chakra needing to be cleared. Or grounding even, because those are the grounding chakras. So if you're having problems with like I said, like physical, going to the bathroom, or digestion, or just all in that area down there, that your stomach and your abdomen and those lower areas, even in our private areas, it has to do, it starts out with that, with the chakras and our emotions. So check out the emotions that may be off a little bit, Look up the chakras, and it'll give you a big hint and show you what it is you need to try working on, to try to shift as far as those emotional parts, and try to figure out why you're feeling like that. Or, it might have been even for a day you might have been feeling like that, and that can throw you off. So you got to put yourself back into alignment again, energetically. And I'm sorry if you're having a hard time seeing here. Sorry about that. So anyway, I was starting out with all that, and I had thought about the medical part. So many people are like giving up all their medications all at once. And, you know, because they're wanting to learn how to do it naturally, which is a good thing. But just some of the things you may still need a little bit, or maybe come down a little bit at a time off of it, especially with something like that has to do with depression and our thinking and how we feel and how it connects with our body and chakras and all. So, you know, if you can still, if you've been off of them and you've been feeling all this, and go, you know, maybe start. This is not for everybody. You know, this is something that you have to work and figure out for yourself if it's right or not. I'm just saying, maybe it's not time to get off everything all at once, you know, or to get on a little bit of antidepressants so you can refocus, you can get your mind into a refocused area where you can think and not have all that depression, and then start working on yourself and what you were feeling in your body. And I guess, you know, with depression, it can get you to where you don't want to do anything. You don't want to stop. Or you just, you know, for some, you know, or at some point, I don't want to put anything on anybody particular or directly, but so it's just a thought. It's, you know, I was going through it myself, and when you live with other people that may be going through this, you know, and you keep thinking that, you know, you keep working on it, it might be something from somebody else that they're going through. And I say that respectfully, because a lot of people don't realize that, you know, that may not be in the same frequency or learning or in the spiritual awakening knowingly, or, you know, they may not even know that you're being affected in that way by the energy, or vice versa. So it doesn't hurt to get a checkup by a doctor. Is what I'm saying. They may be able to help you enough so where you can kind of work with a little bit at the same time until you get yourself into the flow and start finding what it is you need for yourself through the energy, and how to work things out that way. And then start letting more of the medications go. Okay. So, with this card reading I did this morning, thanks for bearing with me, anybody that listened all the way through. Thank you. And this comes from, I wasn't on like antidepressants before all this, but there's been some things going on at the house here, you know, with other people, that they're going through things that, you know, can cause depression, or others in the area here. And if you're sensitive, you know, you may be feeling it. And I was having a time trying to, you know, not that I don't have my own stuff that, you know, I need to let go of too, but whatever the fact, I was having a hard time getting motivated to take care of myself properly. Totally. So I asked my doctor for some help, and when I did, and she gave me a low dose of antidepressant with which helped give me a little energy and get motivated so I can try to start doing instead of just sitting, you know, and feeling worse and worse. So I hope that helps somebody. And of course, like I keep stressing, don't say it because I'm telling you to try, you know, or do it because you feel that's what you feel that you need to do or not do. Okay? So it was just something that I experienced that helped me. So with the cards, I think we just had a full moon, and we're going through it now. So I grabbed Queen of the Moon Oracles. And for myself, and I have the cards already here that I had pulled, or what came out, actually, they gave me. And it was pretty neat, or I thought it was. Okay, let me get them in order. So, I'm talking about the self right now, how to take care of ourselves, and, and trying to release that sadness and fear, and it's a new year, and letting go of things, and being excited for the new year, and if you're someone that is in the spiritual area of your life now, and you don't hear your guides straight on, you may be kind of confused a little bit and what you need or don't need. So it's funny, I was just speaking, sorry if I'm a little darker here, I haven't turned all the way up, but the picture on here is a little dark, at least from my side. The first card that came out is self-love. Taking care of the self. Number 6, that's self and family, and your environment, your friends. It's a balance number of balance. And after that came the hot moon, extremes, 34. I don't know, it's hard to, sorry, there we go. And you see that red moon, I don't know if we're in Aries. We may be in Aries, or just coming out or going in, maybe. But extremes, and this is another thing that was coming with the extremes. You may be feeling some extreme things. Maybe you want to change some things, being the beginning of the year, starting something new. There's a lot being said about finding new things, learning new things, trying new things, this new year, and to let go of all those things that weren't working for you. And again, this depends on you yourself. You don't have to listen to everybody else's opinion. Go with yourself, what you think that is. So with the red, you see the fire and the passion. This is the year of the horse. Some people don't consider it the fire horse. There's a book down here. And which, books are about knowledge. Maybe it's learning some things. Maybe it's going back and relearning, maybe things that you missed. And sometimes there's a lot of reminders in that. And or maybe something new that you've learned that you want to do with a book, writing a book, or that book means something there. When it comes to 7, that's for me, is a connection with spirit, with God, God's source, connection. Having the connections, it's also your gifts and your abilities. And 7's a really good number. 3 and 7 are a couple of my favorite numbers. So that gives us that connection. I'm seeing the back, and he's wet, sweating, it's the hot, and I see that fire moon, it's in the extremes. It's fire is considered passion, motivation, moving forward. And then what came after that? See it all behind me? It's a 40. Look at that moon, dark side of the moon there. but it's still lighting up. It's still lighting up the path. See, the bunnies are fertility and newness and love. Being quick and just, he's looking down that path like, I don't know. I don't know. Do I trust it? It's a little dark down there. Seeing it's on the dark side, but there's still light. It's still shining that path up. Remember you're connected with the source. Your source and your high self. Okay. And then what came out after that was pretty cool. The 40s are like, building our new foundations. And that 0 is like an extra help. Like, for me, that would be like extra help from Spirit, the God source. Pardon me. And, building that new foundation. And it's not only grounding, but it's also building a new foundation. Maybe there's... I'm seeing the light coming through the card. I'm seeing the phases. Like, there's phases on the back here that's showing through the card. I never noticed that before with the light behind it. And which makes me think that there's like phases of building that foundation. And, if you're somebody, like, you can do it a bit at a time, as it's needed. A little at a time. Don't get over... what's the word I'm looking for? Not overzealous, but overly, you can just do it a little at a time, just like the moon moves, it shifts just a little at a time, and build on whatever that new foundation may be. And then we have another 4 that came out. Now this is what Spirit gave me. I didn't just pick this out myself. And so there's another 4. So there's the foundations and also connecting with your higher self, your most high self and source and God, and look at it, they reach down. Like, I thought that was upside down for a minute. So you would think it would be that way. It's the way we think of it. Is like they help us with giving us light and all, right? But we have that already within us. We are also a soul and of spirit. Look at, she's got healing hands. And she's connected to her through this light. Connecting, she helps. She helps in the healing too, in the healing processes, and that's what a lot of people are here doing now, is healing. And they use their hands, however that may be. That may be painting, that might be actually energy healing. There's all different ways of healing. But seeing, you see all the doves, so that's like a source coming down, connecting, and having that healing hand. So you're probably, everybody's a healer in some way or another. But you may have healing in the hands. And look at the lights coming back. That see, where it was once feeling kind of dark. Now the moon has the crescent, and it's starting. Look at all the light that's starting to show up when you're connecting with your most high self, with that, connecting your within self with the outside. Acceptance, accepting it, and having that 4 again. And then what came out after that, I thought this was pretty cool. Another 4, 41. Look at that sovereignty. being your sovereign self, connecting with yourself, your high self, your most high self, or whoever you call on, which is, a part of you. She's holding that golden moon. Queen of the moon. This is intuition. The moon is of intuition. And which here, you may feel like your intuition might be a little bit, you might be questioning it. But then here, it starts to show again. When you get that connection, your intuition and your abilities start coming back online again. And in the 41, which the 4 and the 1 comes to changes, so you're change the way you may be thinking or connecting. Seeing the circle and the triangle, that for me is like connecting with both earth and source. Look at having the 2 connections. The 41 comes to the 5. Having your sovereignty. It's okay. Intuitive. Being very intuitive. Okay. Oh, check this out. And after that, this came out. I swear to God, these are the ones that popped out from Spirit. I did not pick these out. So after the sovereignty, which makes sense to me, number 16 comes out. Power. Having your power. Because she has that moon. She's got that intuition. She got it. Her intuition is right where it should be at. Gives her the power. Her high self and spirit. And connecting with her. Her intuition is right on. Her intuition is right on, which makes her very sovereign. Here she had the acceptance, and there comes the light, and her intuition turning on. Here, like that fear, like having that little bit of fear in the darkness and all, it can, you have to remind yourself, like we were talking before, having that fear, like reminding yourself it's just a frequency, and that we can let it go, that we can change it. And the extremes of passion, and then the self-love, giving yourself that self-love, that power, that sovereignty. And then after that, and our intuitive, look at how intuitive. She just has that total control for herself. That's pretty cool. A full moon. Okay, and then after that, there's the fear. So let go of the fear. So let go of that fear. Look, it's all flying away. It doesn't know which way to go. It's like, just letting it go. Just letting it go. 16 to 7, that's what those abilities, that's what that connection. And after that came 17. There's that 1 and that 7. 1 is the beginning, 7 is just the abilities and the intuition. Look at that almost a full moon now in these cards. The reflection. Self-reflection. What are we talking about with the chakras and all that? And the water is emotions, which is also what we were talking about. And, working those emotions and where they might affect you, or maybe they're doing just fine. Maybe you're doing great just the way you're doing. This 1 and the 7 coming to an 8, that's abundance. That's having that flow, which we have the water in here. having that flow in the infinity, and that 8, or you can put it this way, and that mirror. That's what the moon does. The moon and the sun. The moon is like a mirror for the sun, for that light. It mirrors that light onto Earth, onto our Mother Earth, being seen from all sides. So you have that self-reflection. And this came in afterwards, having the will, having the free will. And number 13, transformation. It's transformation. See, and I counted, for some reason I wanted to count the cards. I don't know why I did, but the cards that came out before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this one made 9. So, and 9 is, when things are ending, when you're finishing a cycle, which is what we're doing now. Finishing the cycles. And look at the moon, the intuition, and it's finishing a cycle. And you have 8 here and the 9 here. The 13 is, for me, is a transformation. It's beginning, it's the connection to source, to yourself and source. Bringing that together to a 4 again, another 4. So doing that foundations, changing your foundations, strengthening them. And having your own free will to do so. What you think is right for you. Okay, I just saw 44 on the timer. I said that, which is like a 44 or 444 for me is, it's like letting Spirit let me know that everything is well. Everything's going good. You're fine. Everything's great. Keep going. Keep going. So, see, she has that mask on. She let go of that mask. It's the end of a cycle of this year. And then after that, I was going to leave it there at the 9th card. In the cycle. And I said, let me try 2 more to make, 9, 10, 11, or 3 more, I should say. 3 more to make that 12. To make, to match with, I wanted that many because for the phase of the moon going through the zodiac. So, at the 9th, this was the 9th card, so I asked for some more to do that. And the next card was the 2. And beginnings. Check it out. Look at that full moon. Look at that intuition. Just like, look how bright it is. And balanced. The 2 is balance in your relationships, in decisions. There was a balance in relationships, decisions. There's one more. Why am I having a hard time remembering that one? Let's see. Relationships, decisions, maybe just balance in the self. And then there's the beginning. There's that archway. Look how nice and green it is in there. And your intuitions are just so bright and connected. New moon. Coming to the new moon. And, I can't remember the date, but it's after this full moon going into the new moon. Okay, so after the beginnings. Okay, so we're at the beginning of the year. With this full moon. And everything's showing balance and beginnings. Next comes in action. Time to take action. There's still that bright full moon, that having those abilities online and your intuition, like really out there. Look at her dancing. Action. Number 15. The 1 is beginnings, 5 is change, and you come together with the 6. And that's, that's your personal life and your family and your friends, and that's balance too. That's the 222. Relationships and home and decisions, and balancing all that with the intuition being bright and glowing like that. It's easy to do those things. Dancing is also what was mentioned for the chakras, which I need to do a little more myself. But it really does. It helps ground you. Exercise, dancing, running, walking, swimming, all kinds of stuff. You can sit in a chair and move, exercise your legs and arms and all that, and that'll help ground you too. Singing will help clear your throat chakra. And with that breath. And then after that, the last one, and this made like so much sense to me. Okay. Again, a 5. Look, a 5's changed. Look, she's just grounded. She got that moon coming into the new moon. Coming into the new. So it's still there. You still have the intuition. Where is it? See, it's still there. You're just not seeing it from that side. Because she's all grounded. She got her roots going around all around mother, huh? Growth. Her growth, and she's swinging a watch. And it's time. And there's growth. And changes. It's time to change. We're changing. Things are changing. Like it's all nested in there. There's that home that nested into that home space, feeling good and grounded and connected with the earth, connected with spirit, ready for change. She knows it's time. She may even be taking her time a little bit. Like I said, a little bit at a time. You see them coming through right here again. You see that great hair. Those phases. Just a little at a time. If you're having a hard time, just do a little bit at a time. And then there's those areas where you may be taking time to rest. Take that time to rest too. Okay, she's all nested in there. Couple more months. And spring will be here. So it's pretty much about self-love, isn't it? And your abilities. Don't let that negative mind chatter or thinking. Sometimes it's hard to let go of it. Use the frequencies. Like I said, try to change the frequency around you. Or maybe put headphones on for a little bit and lay down, or go outside. I go outside, I lay down. Or even if you start, if you have the oomph to want to do something in your house or change something, sometimes that helps change the energy too. You change something around. That's what I was going to do with my books in the other room. But then something came up with the other room that I couldn't do it. So kind of like, I had to back up and now I have to reposition myself again. Figure out what do I do now? I have a lot of creative stuff in here. And a lot of knowledge stuff. This room has a lot of interesting things for you in here. which is why I'm always facing toward the window, and it makes it kind of hard to see sometimes, like into the camera, because I don't want you to see all the different stuff going on. I'm always rearranging stuff. So I think that's like almost 50 minutes. And I have some runes here that I was playing with the other day. So I thought maybe we'll pull out a couple of those. What did I do with them? I don't know what I do with them. Where did I put them? Well, I guess they're not meant to be used right now, I guess. So I hope everybody had a really great holiday. And I know this holiday that's passed and this new year, I just put the cards all together and then this came out. Self-love and the path. There's that 8. Oh my gosh. I just split it in half and the 8 came up. Infinity, abundance. And, the 2 sides here. The path, going up the ladder, lifting your frequency up. And it's, there she stands. There's her back to us. She's standing there looking, thinking, contemplating. And there's the self-love again. So that path right now might be to just concentrate on self-love at the moment and taking care of yourself before starting for the new year. Which, makes sense to me. That would be a message. Look at self-love. She's got somebody here. And spirit. And here. They're watching over her. Okay. So I was just going to do like that. And that was pretty good. Oh, look what came on the bottom. Oh my goodness. There's the power again and nourishment. Yeah, self-love is definitely for the beginning of the year. There's a 7 for abilities and connection to spirit. And there's your intuition. Look at cleansing and water. And look at all the food. And, yeah. Oh, I just saw 44 again. Came around the second hand. The seconds. I love when that happens. Okay, guys. Here's your power card. So, take care of yourself. Get yourself ready for this new year. It's going to be a good one. Okay, you have a really good day. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for listening all the way through. Bye.